Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of EatCrit and Survive, where some friends play a board game together, because I got that title wrong, but EatCrit and Survive plays a board game. Some friends have gathered to play a board game. That's the word I was looking for, the coordination of those things coming together. We are here once again playing a board game, and today we're doing it on Sovereignty. The game is just loading up as we speak, so it'll do that whilst it's going on. But we're here once again. With me, as always, we have Dom below us, just Dom today.
Hello.
It's just the two of us going to be playing a game, and I need to just shuffle you across because you are leaning slightly, so you're drifting towards. It's fine. I can adjust you on my windows. That makes life a little easier. We're here. Hi Dom. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm a little tired. It's been a couple of days work-wise. Which I suppose is true most weeks. But it's just been one of those couple of days that you just go, could people stop sending me meeting requests? Fairly certain I don't need to be here. And yes, I am. So,
the joys of meetings.
I know. But there you go. It happens. You have to deal with it. That is adulting, I guess. But there you go. At least it pass the time.
Yeah, I've been doing training today because we've got a new guy who's been with us a little while, so I was trying to teach him some new stuff. So lots of effort and a lot of brain work today, but hopefully it'll make things easier in the future when he can do more.
Yeah, yes, because you've had a bit of turnover, haven't you? Unfortunately.
Yes.
Which is not
new person joining, so that's going to help.
That always does help. And what always does help is when people like us are being supported by people like GameT, who provide us some wonderful gaming adjacent gear and goods. Has that command worked? No, it hasn't! Ah, curses! I'll have to type it in. That's unfortunate. GameT. There you go. Something has updated, and I think it was the computer updated, and it's just lost the connection between my Stream Deck and some of the things on Twitch, which is unfortunate. So I'll have to reprogram that a little bit later. I will worry about that later on, though. GameT, who are the providers of wonderful gaming adjacent gear and goods. They make some wonderful stuff, like Valentine's cards, if you were in the mood to get some of those nerdy Valentine's cards, like the one I got for Laura, which is over here, maybe? Still in here? I think it might be still in here. Nope, that's previous years. It might be. That is some signatures from some rugby players. That's definitely not relevant.
So romantic.
If it's for the right person, here it is. Here's the card. Health bars are red, mana is blue, press X to continue as my player too.
Aww.
Adorable and cheesy, and we love it. So, we are proudly supporting and ambassadors for GameT, who, as they make all these wonderful stuff. They do things like that. They do things like these candles that Laura often does as candle corn. We need to get more of them so she can do more of them. But some wonderful stuff like that. You can also get art prints and t-shirts, all sorts of wonderful stuff from GameT. So go to gamet.co.uk/EatCritSurvive or follow the link that's in the chat. Or you can use the code EatCritSurvive to get yourself 5% off if you do. So go and have a look. Check out some of their stuff. They've got some cool stuff. And also, because we are playing on Sovranti are one of our partners. I've done that even though I know that the button doesn't work. So I'll have to worry about that later. But we have, we are also supported by Sovranti, who make these wonderful games available to us on their platform. So we can play these games we're going to. This month, they are doing their sort of silver availability. They're done for pairs of games this month. So there are a couple of pairs of games that you can check out to do for free. They are the Cats and Kittens pair, which is Wizard Kittens and Isle of Cats. They've got some wonderful animals cute animals with sneaky tactics with Hedgehog Hop and Boop. And then the sort of nature-themed ones with Shobu and Gift of Tulips. Those games are all available for you to play for free. Hey, Sovereignty, welcome along to the chat. I'm just talking about you guys. Your ears must have been burning. But yeah, so you can go onto there, and those games will be available for you to play for free for the entirety of the month of February. And if you want to continue playing those games and every game that is available in the library there at Sovranti, you can go to Sovranti, you can enter the code EatCrit and get yourself a 60-day platinum trial of Sovranti. It gives you access to all of the games available to you. You can play them with your friends who do not have platinum accounts, but it's great if they do as well. You can start a game, you can play with absolutely anyone, and you can share the love. You can get some wonderful games in the process. Today we are going to be playing a pair of games. Due to not knowing how people were going to be here, what people are going to be here, we're going to start off by playing The Gift of Tulips, and then we're going to play something else afterwards. Because Gift of Tulips is a really short game, so we'll see how it goes. So, Dom, there you go, off you go. Explain how Gift of Tulips works.
Okay.
It's fine, I got it. I just like watching you panic, it's fun. I'm only going to hit randomise player tokens though, just because why not? It doesn't make any difference. Whilst Sovranti gets itself set up, doing that lovely card shuffle animation that I deeply enjoy. Alright, so Gift of Tulips is a game where we are playing in the Tulip Festival of Amsterdam and the surrounding areas in the Netherlands. And we are basically trying to create the best bouquet of flowers and make the festival as good as it can be by choosing certain tulips and keeping them scoring points in different ways. And we do that by effectively drafting cards and taking a couple of actions. So what's going to happen is we are going to draw a card from the tulip deck, which is over here. It's rather nice, beautiful artwork. We're going to take one of that. We're going to perform one of the three actions. And then we will draw another card and perform a different action of the other two that are remaining. You can never do the same action twice in a turn, but you can do the two different ones as you go. The two actions are, number one, you could keep the tulip into your own bouquet. If you do that, you will place it face up in front of you, and it will effectively determine how much you will score at the end of the game. We'll get on to that a little bit more. But you will immediately score points for adding a tulip to your bouquet if it is ranked third or fourth. And that, again, will come up a little bit later. But for just short term, effectively the different colours of tulips will be ranked in different positions. First, second, third and fourth. If they're in the second or third or fourth place, when you place them into a row, you will score a certain amount of points for keeping them. If it is not currently ranked, so in the instance the blue and I think they're green, I don't remember the other colours, or white maybe. Someone will correct me, I'm sure we'll find out in a little bit. They are considered to be fourth place, so the other two colours that I'm not showing at the moment, they will be considered fourth for the purposes of giving and receiving points. Second action is you can give a tulip to a friend, and you can pass that tulip over. In our case, I will be passing it over to Dom. Or Dom will be giving to me, and will score points equal to the giving value of the tulip, of the festival card above the variety of tulip that's there. It is based on the specific card that you give, plus additional points that are shown on the festival cards, which are these ones here. So, for example, if it is a first place tulip and you gift it over to someone, you will score a certain number of points. And I probably should have learnt what this iconography is. I think it is this one here with the gifting plant. There you go, 3 plus, I assume that is the value of the tulip. We've never played this before, so this is going to be an interesting experience for the two of us. Feel free, Sovranti, to let me know if I'm getting any of this wrong and to correct me as we go. But the beauty of something like Sovranti is it's all automated. You make the choices and it will do the things for you. So we can keep track of how we're doing and how badly I'm explaining this. The third action is you could throw your tulip into the festival, and that will determine how many points are held for the majority of those tulips at the end of the game. By putting them into the festival, you will sort of adjust how they will rank. So, in one of the two ways you can do, you can either add the card face up to the festival, and adjust the tulip cards depending on their rankings. More on that in a second. Or you can put it face down to the secret festival deck. Cards in the secret festival deck are revealed at the end of the game and can influence the ranking of tulips in the festival. So there's a little bit of sort of secret bluffing to try and get these things scored in a way that benefits you. When you add a tulip to the festival, you stack it with the cards of the same type. I am reading this off the rulebooks because I don't remember this one off the top of my head. And you add the new value to the previous total of all the stacks. So at the moment we have a value of 4 for our orange tulips, and we have a 2 for our purpley pink ones. If we were to add another card into there, say one of the ones in our hand was a 3 yellow, it would then become a 3 yellow. But if we did a 3 purple, that would change the number in there and make it a 5. So our purple ones would move up, as we do. So we can just sort of keep an eye on things as they go. The game will end when we have gone through this deck of cards, which will, in a 2-player game, will probably take us, what do we reckon, about 24 turns, because we're taking 2 cards each time. So we're going to have 12 turns each. And then we will see where things go. At the end of the game, we will shuffle, we'll take 5 random cards out of our Secret Festival deck. We'll flip them over one at a time and add them to the festival, and it will adjust the scoring as they go, and then we will have the scoring phase, which will be based on the festival majority, based on these tulips that are at the top. So, the top 3 tulip varieties on here, and then we will see who has the most of those cards in their hand. It is not the value, it is the most cards. And then we'll score for that. Yeah, so we're going to be scoring points throughout the game by giving cards away to each other, and then it will be that festival majority at the end. And that's pretty much all we need to know. So now I need to choose a tulip card to go start my bouquet. The other one goes into the Secret Festival, so I'm going to choose this card to keep, and that one goes way over there. Alright, so...
Okay. There you go, another colour of tulips. It's a pinky white one.
Yes. They do have names for the different types of tulips. It does specify them somewhere, but I do not have that page of the rulebook kept for me. But there we go. Such is life.
Okay, so what should I do with this one? Doesn't really work with anything in the festival at the minute. So let's add it to the festival and see what happens.
Okay. Oh, interesting. It did take the priority.
So
I wonder if
pushes the older one down.
I would imagine so. Yes.
And now this one, that's the one that's already in the festival. So let's keep that for myself.
Okay.
And I get a point. Woohoo! I'm winning.
You do get a point because it is in the 3rd place. So I have also drawn a card that is beneficial to me. So I'm going to keep that. Yep, confirm. So I also get a point. And now I will gift you. I like that it's giving me an option of who I can gift it to, even though there's only one other player. I will gift you that card and get 5 points for it.
Ooh, nice. Because
it is on the first place, guys, it is 3 points plus the value of the flower. I give you a 2 yellow, which is nice.
Wow. I think one good turn deserves another.
Ooh!
Oh, how? I can gain more points.
You can. How very kind of you, sir.
Okay.
Because at the moment I am winning in yellow because I have the greatest number of yellow cut tulips, so that's nice. It's the right time of year to be playing a game like this. It's almost spring. We've had unseasonably warm weather recently. Valentine's Day was yesterday. For those who celebrate, gave flowers and such.
Okay, let's pop that one in the Secret Festival.
Alrighty. I will add this card to the festival, I think. I'll put it in the Secret Festival.
Oh, okay. We're both being sneaky.
We are both being sneaky, and this second one I'm going to keep for myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure how important it's going to be, but
we will find out at some point.
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is the first past practice game, so we'll give this a go, and then we'll probably play another hand because it feels like it's going to be pretty quick.
Well, gifting you tulips seems to be a good way of getting points. So let's gift you more tulips and gain more points.
Oh, very nice.
But that one I shall keep for myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
It's almost a little gambling, isn't it? Do you gift it and get points now, or do you keep it and try and gamble that you can finesse the festival order to help yourself out later?
yeah, there's that, because also if you obviously giving out, you have to be able to manipulate the festival enough that even if you're giving someone loads of cards in a particular colour, it's not going to affect the majority so much, so that they're going to score loads of points for it. Because although you're getting quite good points from that, at the end of the game, it's worth 15 points to me if I have the majority, which I currently do. But I'm going to give you this 2 blue.
But if I assume you're going to have the majority, it then doesn't matter if you have a massive majority or just a tiny one.
Well, exactly. Alright, I'm going to put this one in the festival. But I'm going to put it in the public festival because it makes it puts a little bit of pressure on you, I think.
Okay, well, if you're going in on oranges, let's see if I'll
Not necessarily by choice, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a pink.
Okay.
Oh, now that's an interesting one. Yeah. Okay. Ah, yes. Can't perform the same action twice.
Correct.
Okay. That makes things a bit easier then.
I
Give it away, get more points.
Ooh, more points for me. I hear the other human wandering around in the house. Well, I'm doing alright for things at the moment, so I'm going to gift you this yellow card. Give myself 5 points.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And then I will keep this card for myself. And get a point.
Okay, let's pop this into the festival. And then as I have it drew the same one again, so I shall keep that for myself.
Ooh, okay.
So the difference between first place and second is 5 points.
Yes.
5 points per position. That's nice and easy to keep track of.
Yes, indeed. I will keep this blue, I think. Give myself a couple of points for that.
Yeah, I think I'm giving up on trying to fight you on oranges, so you can just have more.
Okay. I guess the benefit of being able to outweigh that 5 point difference is the risk of that. But I guess you've got to still keep it high.
Okay, let's add a blue to the festival.
Ooh, that jumps straight up. Alright.
Value 4, so it pushes the other value 4 down as being newer. Interesting.
Well, I'm also going to add that in there.
Okay.
And then I will keep this pink tulip. Or purple tulip. Give myself another 2 points. Huzzah!
Now, let's pop this one into the festival and rank up those pinks that I'm collecting.
Very nice.
And I'll keep that for myself.
Righty. Well, this is going into the festival. Oof. Well, it would seem churlish not to do this to you now that I've put the yellows back up. Here is a 4 point yellow. 7 points.
Thank you.
For 7 points for myself. This is a very polite game, isn't it?
It depends if you think we're nicely offering the church, or we are angrily hurling them at each other?
I like to think both. Maybe we're attaching them to a windmill and just throwing them at each other. Take a tulip! Ugh! Stinking tulip.
Ooh, I did not want that. Okay.
Have a look at our player tokens. What have we got here? Oh, I've got the teapot. That's nice. The teapot, short and stout. And yours is a
windmill.
Yours is a windmill. That's nice.
This may be somewhat counterproductive, but let's put it in the secret festival.
The secret festival.
Not sure what the purpose of a secret festival would be in real life.
Well, I'm sure you've turned up to some secret gigs at some point in your life.
Officially, yes. There's a band playing under a different name to usual. Okay. Yeah, let's add this to the festival.
Now, I don't know how many cards are in the secret festival deck at the moment.
Yeah, I've not been keeping track either.
Now, I know if there's fewer than 5, then all of them will be dealt back out. But if there's more than 5, it will sort of change things up. So it's an interesting balance. More pinks for yourself, eh? Interesting.
Wow, if it's in 3rd or 4th place,
it's a point. It's a point for yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm going to keep...
Doesn't make much sense to give it away.
No. I'm going to keep this one, and I will give this one... That's a gamble, but let's go for it. I will take the 5 points.
Ooh, okay.
We are tied on blues. I do not know what happened. I think if we're tied, then it's the player... There's a tie for majority. The player with the higher total value of tulip cards will have variety gains the points.
We're tied on value as well.
If that's the case and we're tied on both things, then we share the points. Which is quite nice.
Let's boost the festival for pinks. Yeah, no point in giving that away, is there? No, I may as well keep it for myself. This is a rapid playing game that we've got going.
Yeah, I think it has good potential to go that way. Alright, I will keep this one for myself, I think. Get myself 2 points for that, which is nice. Sure, you know what, let's put you there in the Secret Festival. There has definitely been more than 5 cards going into the Secret Festival, I think, at this point. Can't tell how many, but there's definitely more than 5. Oops. I do like this artwork, though. This is very pretty.
Interesting. Yeah, it's quite relaxing to look at, I think.
Yes.
You sort of got the almost, I don't know, they're like tiles almost, the art on the cards, and then the still life flowers. Yeah.
Alright.
Very relaxing to look at.
Yeah. In terms of the artwork, it very much reminds me of sort of like the calmness of Wingspan, and just sort of, you know, yeah, you know, I'm like when it goes to Wingspan, I'm like, ooh, look at that pretty bird. Ooh, look at that pretty bird. Ooh, that pretty bird. Is it going to be close on points?
We shall have to see, yeah. Ooh, I think we are nearly through the deck, aren't we?
Yeah, this is the last turn. Which is a bird, not a flower. I'll keep this.
Oh. That took me a moment, and then it really wasn't worth it.
Well, I enjoy
Not that I
this.
can talk, can I?
Not really, no. Right, let's put this one in the festival. Okay, let's see what we get with the secret festival deck. There is definitely more than 5 cards, so we will deal them out one at a time.
Interesting.
Okay. Blue.
Good.
Blue.
Good. Blue.
Blue. Ooh. Ha ha! Lot of blue snuck in there.
I think it gave us both 15 points for that.
Yes, I think we had the same. We had the tie value all the way through. I get the majority on the purple, and the majority on the orange. So, awarding best bud. Oh, I'd forgotten about the best bud card. So the best bud card is given bonus points for the person who gives the highest value of stuff across. I think that's what it's for. Yes, obviously a lot of blue. I saw an opportunity to try and sneak it, and I just stuck a lot of blue into the secret pile.
Yeah, I was adding quite a lot of blue as well because I thought I would end up managing to get the majority.
Yeah.
Fool that I was.
Fool that you were. I like that. That's very nice. Should we do another?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do one more match. This now that we've got the idea of it. If I reconnect, does this automatically go back to a new game? I need to remind myself. Do you know, Dom, this is our 75th game that we have played or done one of these EatCrit Survivor Players board game.
Wow.
Oh. And Sovereignty is frozen. That's unfortunate. No, that's just taking us back to the same one.
75th one, and you have scored 75 points.
I did. You scored 57, which is a interesting option. Alright, so
we have a palindromic score.
We do. Alright, I'm going to recreate a table, so if you wouldn't mind rejoining. We shall return to get this. This is... How have we both been? Yeah, good, thank you. It's been a long week for me already. It's been a long couple of weeks, to be fair. A bit tired, but we had a wedding fair that we went to. That Laura and I went to at the weekend. So that was fun. That's got some fun stuff going on there. Dom, how have you been?
Yeah, I've been eating too much because it was my dad's birthday last week, but because of work and other things, we couldn't get together for a meal. So on Monday, we've all managed to get together and go to Mandarin, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet place.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
so of course, ate far too much. And then last night, being Valentine's Day, I decided, even though I am one on my own, that's no reason not to have a nice meal. So did myself nice roast lamb, roast potatoes, veg, some wine. So yeah.
You are a little quiet, apparently, so let me just do the adjustments on that one. Speak now, Dominic.
So yes, having been rather naughty, I shall now have to be good and diet for the next little while.
I hope that's better, because it's it was loud from my end. There we go. How have you been? I'm assuming Danny, lurking around in the Sovereignty Twitch account. There is not Danny. Who are you? What are you doing? Ooh. Choose a card to start and want to go in the Secret Festival. Ooh, this one today. How are you, Danny? How have things been? Moving up to. Alright, I get the first player token this time with my clog. And I'm going to gift you this tulip. Ooh, what convention is that you're going to? Danny says, I've been good. First convention of 2023 this weekend. I've got my first convention of 2023 next month. I'm going to Aircon. I am very much looking forward to that. That's going to be a blast. 4 days, pretty much, of gaming up in Harrogate. So I am very excited. I get to see some people that I haven't seen in a year. Literally, I haven't seen them in a year. So like, Paula is going to be there, that we played with the game with a few weeks ago. Watch It Play team's all going to be there. That's going to be really nice to see them again. I will keep this tulip. And I will give this tulip.
Yes, that's some excitement I've got coming up. I'm going to be booking holidays and things and accommodation because I've managed to find myself a bunch of shows coming up. So I've got bands I'm seeing in April, then in May, and then in June. So I've got something to look forward to every month.
Ooh, very nice.
Going to be good.
Very nice. That's going to be fun. Danny says, local convention in Minnesota. It is no longer local to me, so I have to travel, but local for Sovereignty. Well, I mean, you can always travel into the games shop that you were seeing in Master Goblin Games? Is that? No, who am I thinking of? That is someone else entirely. The game store that Sovereignty you were taking Alexa around. Let's pop you in the Secret Festival. Why is my brain misfired on what the name of that game store was? I'm usually very good at remembering things. I am tired. Tower Games, that's the one in Minneapolis. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen that, Danny took her friend Alexis to Tower Games in Minneapolis to go to her first book game store, which was quite a delight to see the reaction of someone going, "Oh, this is how the hobby is presented." There's a lot of things here. But it sort of goes hand in hand with the series of introducing board game terms. So if you are newer to the hobby, you can go and check out some of the stuff over there on Sovereignty's YouTube channel. Freak out. I'm going to keep this flower. I'm not as confident with my game plan this time as I was previously.
I'm trying a different one, being a bit less generous about giving things away. We'll see how that works out. I'm just getting as many points as I can.
That's
generally a good strategy.
You're absolutely welcome, Danny. Yeah, always a fan of watching what you guys have been getting up to. But have you got anything new coming up now that series has come to a close? I think the last one came out earlier this week. Okay.
Well, speaking of game stores, I got to try out that Kethra's Step Cartographer's expansion at the weekend.
Oh yes, how was it? How did you find it?
Yeah, we quite enjoyed that. It's not one of the ones that makes a massive change to the gameplay, but it just added that little extra wrinkle. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, because the two beacons are quite interesting, and sort of change up that scoring element a little bit.
Yeah. And then my brother managed to find himself a cheap copy of Machikoro 2, so we gave that a try.
How was that in comparison to the original?
I don't really remember the original. I think I played it once many, many years ago. But yeah, I can definitely recommend Machikoro 2. It's one of these ones that's simple and quite easy to learn, and yeah, just a very pleasant experience. We all liked it. We're planning to play it again.
Excellent. Glad to hear. Sovereignty says, yeah, our next series is a playthrough series. Alexis is actually going to play some games now. Oh, that's fantastic to hear. And each week we will have a guest from the community join us. Are they going to be physical games or are they going to be Sovereignty based? Both would work. Let's keep this one for me. And pop this into the Festival. Sovereignty Games. Of course they are. Of course they're going to be Sovereignty Games. Why would I even ask the question, Luke? Why would you do that? Why would you assume that they're not going to be Sovereignty Games? No, that's awesome. Enjoy doing that. That's going to be a lot of fun, I bet.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's keep that one. I'm slightly worried that the lead Luke is opening up over me in this one. I think maybe not giving tulips away may be a bad strategy.
We've only played this once, and we did a strategy where we gave a load of stuff, and we had a strategy where we are just doing different things. We're seeing where that's going. So it's either going to benefit us, or I'm going to open up a big lead and we'll see what happens. I think last time we managed to get the edge on it because we both tried to manipulate the market in the same way, and it benefited one of us slightly more than the other. Because the thing that you had been maximising on with the sort of like pink tulips, they ended up not scoring anything.
Yeah.
Which was handy for me. Probably less so for you.
I haven't seen many of those pink ones this game, unless you've been hiding them all in the secret festival or something.
Well, that's one of the things in the setup of the game, is there are a number of cards that are removed from the deck, so it's entirely possible that we don't get the same cards each time. I will put that into the secret festival.
Oh, no, that's rather annoying.
Good. As evil as I can be, but it's a game about tulips. Alrighty. Yep, that's certainly there. Let's keep that. There's a possibility it's hidden in the secret deck.
Yeah. You don't get to see tulips that often in flower shops now, do you? I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's there, whether they're out of season. We did see a fair few when we were at the wedding fair. I don't know whether it's because they're not a particularly native flower to Britain.
Yeah.
Which is entirely possible. It might be just they're a little bit hard to grow over here. But who knows? I am not a botanist in the slightest. Maybe we should ask Ross.
There's no point giving it, so I may as well keep it.
Okay. Get yourself a pair of points for that. Let's do this. I will give you this one. Do I think it's beneficial? Probably not. But I am getting 6 points for it. So yeah. Damn! I knew I'd forgotten something. Curse you, Nightbot. We are not playing Libertalia. That was last week. I knew it was all going too smoothly. I'll update that whilst...
And now it's an official EatCrit stream.
Yay! Nightbot.
Nightbot!
Today's games are Gift of Tulips, and I'm going to... What game do you fancy playing after this, Dom? I think, having heard your experiences with Machikoro, you might be intrigued by Space Base. which is
Okay.
Machikoro in space.
Space.
Or as
Okay.
the Brothers Mirth call it, Spas. There you go. I've committed now.
Yeah, I'm up for giving Space Base a go.
Danny says, yes! Space Base!
Oh, well, it has the Danny seal of approval. That's all the more reason to try it.
It's always a benefit. I like Space Base. I've got it downstairs. I haven't opened it yet. I really should. I've played it a fair bit on BGA. And I think it's one of those games that probably loses its magic a little bit by playing it on BGA. Or at least playing it asynchronously, so you're not playing it at the same time as everyone else. Because you don't necessarily get to see what's happening with everything. But we'll give that a go. Because it's our pairing game. So it's our pair game. We're pairing a gift of tulips with Space Base, because of course we are. Alrighty.
And you have tulips in space.
You do have tulips in... Alright, I'm going to try something. Sure, let's see if this works.
I think you can try what you like. I think you've got this one in the bag.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Let's put that in here. This is your last hand. It's only 18 points, and what was the lead I had? What did I end up winning with? What's the difference? It was 75 to 57, so it was 18 points. That's handy. So it's, I don't know. I don't think 18 is going to be a big enough swing, especially if you get the majorities. I don't know what's in the secret deck. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Interesting.
Yeah, that's not what I was hoping to happen. Okay.
Might have sneaked a majority there, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, but you've outplayed me on the blues in the end, which is not.
Well,
really.
that's if they stay at the majority though, which they haven't.
Oh yeah, yes. All change.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of oranges in the
That's
secret
a lot
festival.
of oranges. Let's zoom in for the. Jeez. Okay, well. Here's how we go. The festival majority. I think you had the majority of yellow, so that's 15. I think you've got the majority in the purples as well. That's another 10.
Just got there.
Well.
Wow, that was closer.
However, the best bud award. Oh, goes to you. 2 points. That was tight. That was a tight game.
Yeah, that was interesting to try a different strategy.
Yeah.
I was nervous that it seemed like you were pulling away, but I guess focusing on the end game scoring pulled it back. Probably shows it's quite a well-balanced game.
Yeah, I think...
Did quite different things, but ended up close.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to make a note of that score, because that's 48 to 46 Dom Luke, and then the previous one was 57 to 75. Honours even. Let's go to the tiebreaker of Space Base. So, let me adjust the different table options. And it kind of it's nice to show, because normally we only play a single game on Sovranti, apart from when we played the Fight in the Box games, when we had Seppi join us. We played a whole bunch of their games all back to back. It's nice to sort of show how the interface and how easy it is to get everything set up. That's Space Base.
Yes, it's a lot quicker to just click and click than to hack away in a box and unpack and set up.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, that table should be creating, if my computer decides to work. There we go. Alright, that table is now available to you.
Okay.
I am going to make sure I remember how to explain Space Base. I mean, it's, as I say, it's Machikoro. It's very, very similar to Machikoro. Space Base.
A minute or two to scan the rules while it's loading. I do like that the rulebook has a kind of steampunk robot.
It does, doesn't it? I'll let the AEG website load up for me. So in Space Base, we are trying to gain as many points as we can through the collective use of die rolling and the ships that we have in front of us. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build an engine that will satisfy the different dice rolls that will happen between turns. So when we get these things going up, I'll show you. Each card has basically got two halves to it, or two halves at the bottom of it, based on the value of the die and how they're going to play out. So there is a blue section of the board where they are going to be on your rolls. When you buy further cards further down the line, or future cards further down the line, you will take the cards that are already on your board, turn them upside down, and put them underneath your own board. So that the red section at the top is available. And when that happens, that will apply to every other player's roll. So it's in your interest to try and get yourself spread out so that you will gain points or coins or what's the other currency? Planetary points, I think. But basically position yourself so that you are going to be getting a good chunk of points when you come to play the game. The winner is the first one to get to 40 points. And there are different values of cards available to you. There's tiers 1, 2 and 3. Obviously the more powerful the tier, or the higher the number of the tier, the more powerful the card is, but the more expensive it is. So you can save up and try and go for one of those big, powerful, meaty cards to hope that you get a decent roll that builds that engine, or you can build out with a load of smaller cards and try and build up slowly that way. There are also some cards that you can buy which are just big point scoring cards. When you get those, you are effectively locking yourself into that. You'll automatically score the points, but then you will lock out to being able to upgrade that sector again. And because we are rolling 2 dice, we have options from 1 through to 12. And when the dice are rolled, you can choose effectively to either take the sum of the dice, or you can choose to take the 2 individuals. So, depending on what is beneficial for you at the time, is what's going to come up. And that's pretty much it, I think. This is the only drawback of doing this while streaming is downloading the game assets. It does take a little bit of the computer's sweet time to do so. Let's bring everything to a crawl. Is there anything that you're reading in the rules that I have missed, Dom? If you were paying attention to what I was saying.
No, I was half listening and half reading, but it seems to have matched up.
Right. Let me just turn this off for a second in the stream. Oops. Nope, let's not do that because that looks terrible. It's getting there slowly. I think it's a strain on my Wi-Fi. That's my own fault. I need to get better Wi-Fi. But yeah, this is an interesting little variation of that sort of thing with Machikoro. I have to say, I've been intrigued by the concept of Machikoro Legacy. I have absolutely no idea how that would work, but it seems like an interesting idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess thematically it works, and that you're building up your town.
Yeah.
So you could build off what you've done previously.
Yeah, it makes a little bit more sense of how that progresses, I guess. I need to get a game group together to play Pandemic Legacy, because I've been meaning to play that for a while. And it's been sitting downstairs, and it's getting a group together that will consistently want to play it. Because we played Pandemic Legacy Season 0, we did one session of the practice game that was on Tabletopia.
And failed horrendously.
We failed miserably. That game kicked our backsides all over the place, and it was brutal. But I think that was also not helped by the fact that it was different enough from regular Pandemic that it was sort of, there was the, I think it didn't help that, I think, had you played it before? Played regular Pandemic before?
Yes, but only once or twice, I think.
Laura hadn't played it at all. I don't think Tom had either. So it's sort of me that understood the game well enough to sort of be able to explain it, but also sort of alpha gamer, which is not what you want for a cooperative game, really. But when you get... It's one of those things that's almost inevitable when there's someone who has more experience with a game. It's a trait I'm not happy about with myself, to be honest. It's not something I enjoy having. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it really doesn't. But it's good to be aware of yourself. But I do want to try and get through a legacy game. I tried the My City legacy game, and I did not particularly enjoy it.
What's the basis of that game? I've not heard of that one.
So My City is you're building out a city with tile placement. Basically, you get it's effectively like a roll and write in the sense that you draw a card and you'll then place a tile down based on the card that has been revealed, and you're just trying to fill in these different spots in the cities. The thing that trips me up most of it is that with most polynomial games like Art of Cats or Cartographers or something like that, is that you can rotate, you can mirror, you can do what you like to the shape as long as it maintains the same shape. In My City, you can't. So it is only the as it comes out on the board, and we had enough instances of it coming up where it's like that's the perfect shape, but it's in the wrong orientation, and I can't play it, and it just got frustrating after a little while, to a degree that being frustrated by it wasn't fun. Like there's some games where being frustrated by a card draw doesn't matter so much, but in that instance, for me, it was very much a case of this is happening far too frequently to my detriment that I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would. Because it's been very highly rated. A lot of people really enjoyed My City. I'm wondering whether the sequel to it, which is My Island, which basically replaces the regular sort of square Tetris-style shapes with hexamino tiles, whether that will make a difference if they sort of fix things, because it did have a bit of a runaway leader problem.
Okay.
That in my experience, I mean, I played it with Ross, so it was very, we had situations where one of us was winning multiple times in a row over a 24 game story. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So sometimes the benefits were you got some little catch up mechanisms, but it didn't feel that balanced at the time. Like some of them were much better than others.
Was it just you and Ross playing?
It was. We also had a second game. So what happened with this one is someone set up a run of it with me, Ross, and two others, and we started playing it, and we thought, okay, this will be fine. We'll get through the story. We're playing on Board Game Arena, so we can just take our turns when we need to. During that time, one or two of the players just got busy and just didn't take their turn for a little while. So Ross and I just set up a second game going alongside it, and we finished pretty much the entire of the campaign before the other people came back to do it. So we kind of binged through it. But yes.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering, if it had been more than two players, would there maybe have been an element of the ones behind ganging up on the leader and sort of...
Well, there's nothing you can do about it, though. There's no method of attacking your opponent. It's very much a multiplayer solitaire game to a degree that it's almost irrelevant that there's another person there except for someone to score against. So going up doesn't necessarily help you. Or trying to gang up on someone, because there's nothing you can do to attack someone. You're not putting out different ways of scoring negative points against them. So, I don't know. It didn't sit right for me. That's the thing. I know a lot of people really enjoy it, and some people have been like, they enjoyed it so much they would buy it again to play it through another time. But it just didn't work for me, personally.
Fair enough. Not every game works for everyone.
No, exactly. There's no issue with that. Like, we have a regular debate in the gaming group that goes to Manus Group, our friendly local game store, that about the game Ark Nova. Now, Ark Nova has shot up through the BGG rankings in the last year or so. I think it came out sometime early last year. And I think it's currently fourth or fifth in the top 100. And I personally did not enjoy that game. I didn't think it did anything new, which is fine. Games don't have to do anything new. I mean, Space Base is very similar to Machikoro, as we've been discussing. But it just didn't... I just didn't feel it. You know, a lot of people hyped it up, and it just didn't sit right for me.
Yeah.
Just got very frustrating. Where there's, you know, some games the hype stands up, like Red Cathedral. Red Cathedral was a very well thought of game. When we got around to playing it, we enjoyed it so much we played it twice, even back to back, even though it failed the first time we played it.
Yes. Speaking of frustrating, how
Yes.
is your loading going?
Well, I'm at 57%, which is not ideal at the moment. It's getting there slowly, but it is still going. Has yours installed it?
Yeah, mine seems to have loaded up really quickly. But then I'm not running OBS and the stream.
Yeah. What I might do, I might put us on a Be Right Back stream just whilst it downloads, because it's not particularly exciting for everyone to watch. So I'm going to just quickly change over here. We'll be back in a couple of moments, just whilst this gives it time to download. It might give the computer a bit of a chance to get things done quickly. So we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back. Sorry about that, everyone. It took a little longer than we expected, but here we go. We are playing. We're back with Space Base. I will fix that. Sorry, go on.
I was saying, don't complain. It took a while. Getting to space is hard.
Yeah. It took us so long to get there. It's a nightmare. But there we go. We're in it now. If I turn the speaker on, let me. Got the music playing in the background. I've not had this sort of music playing on before, and it's quite pleasant. I don't know how that sounds to everyone at home. How's that sound to you, Danny? Can you hear me and Dom okay? I'm going to choose light speed mode because I feel like a quick game might be needed.
Yes.
Which is fine. Alright, so select cards that you would like to purchase. I don't know what the difference is for a light speed mode, but it is what it is. I'm going to just turn it down in my own ear for a moment. So we've got some cards that we can purchase. So this is what I was talking about earlier on. Is you have cards like this one, where you've got a cost in the top left-hand corner. You've got the die value that it will represent, in this case 10. When you roll a 10 on your turn, you will get 3 points. If you were to buy another 10 card, it would be turned upside down, and any time a 10 was rolled, you would score 2 points instead. So I'm just going to quick scan through what I've got here and see what's going to best benefit me. That would be ideal. It's a lot of money, but it's a high possibility number. I don't know how much money I start with.
No, I was trying to work that out.
Is there anything on the board that suggests what it is? Oh, here we go. If you scroll back a little bit, there is a little running track here that tells you how much money you have.
Is that the yellow cube? Oh yes, it is.
It's the yellow cube. Hooray.
Okay.
Oh, and cards such as these, which have got the arrows on them, they will activate the cards that are adjacent to them. So that's potentially pretty good. Oh, I'm loving... Have you seen what happens when you buy a card and you place it down? It all sparkles and glows. Ooh. Oh no, what have you done to a Sovranti? Ooh. Right, I'm going to take this one for 4. I'll flip that round and I can get one more, which will be the 10, which is slightly beneficial. yes, I am finished purchasing cards. I would do that. That feels like a reasonable option. So these planet points, which are the other sort of resource that we have, those are tracked, and those, I believe, will give you points based on... well, sorry, they won't give you points. They'll give you extra income each turn. I will just double check that. There we go, income. If a player's money cube is lower than their planet cube, they move their money cube up to be equal with their planet cube. This is all the planet cube does. So it's quite passive, but it is a active income. Ooh, I rolled a 12. Or 2 6s. So this is for deciding who goes first. Unsurprisingly...
Yeah, those all seem about right.
Unsurprisingly, I am going first. So I've rolled a 6. So I have an option. I can either go for the 2 and the 4, or I can just go for the 6. I'm just going to go to a bit more of a top-down view. So I can zoom in on my own player board. This is something we didn't really do in the last games. I didn't really change and have a look at Dom's perspective of what's going on here. So at the moment, because of the die rolls that come out, Dom will benefit from the 4 that I rolled. I just need to decide how I'm going to best benefit from mine. So at the moment, I can either get 1 or I can get 2 if I split them up. So I'm going to split them up and I'll take the 2 and the 4.
I don't think I am benefiting, am I? Because
you will do in a second, I think.
Blues.
But you have
blues were only during your.
Blues are during it. Blues are during my turn, but you have a red in your 4.
Ah, right.
The ones at the top.
Yes, I do.
There we go. Right, I can choose to buy something with my 2 money. I'm going to pass in this particular instance because I want to... Actually, no, I won't. I will buy the 2. The 2 money, right. So I will... I can only benefit from that, so... Rolling a 1 and a 5 from Dom this time, I got the benefit from the 1 and the 5.
Yes. No use to me, or very limited use to me whatsoever, because they're both just your basic ships.
Yes, for now.
Okie doke. More money. Right, what could I buy?
What can you buy? That is an interesting question. So, Danny, if you're still about, what games are you going to introduce Alexis to, if we can be so bold and ask that question? Or is it all going to be a surprise? Sushi Go Party, point salad, and I'll let the other be a surprise, is the answer. You heard it here first, folks. Sushi Go Party, point salad, and a surprise. That is going to be a lovely little food fight that is going to be starting off there with Sushi Go Party and point salad. That's going to be good. Both games we've played on here, I think, at various points.
Decisions.
Are you considering a purchase?
Yeah. Okay, let's just add an extra thing to my board. That's
Okay. So these
more stuff is good.
Yes. So these were sort of the other ones I was talking about here. These sort of settlement cards, like the UEC Fresh Outpost. These are just a certain number of points. That's how much they cost, and it's the die number that they will just block off. Effectively, you cannot build over settlements. Ooh, that's an interesting roll for me. I think I'll take the pair of 6s. Myself some money. And I'll buy this card for 10. Yes. I'll do. I'm looking forward to seeing Alexis learn some new games. It's been a nice journey to be a part of.
Let's get some more money. That seems like a good plan.
Yes, I'm going to go for more money. More money is always a benefit.
And yeah, let's buy that thing.
Okay. Something that we I don't think about that much these days is about what games to introduce people to the hobby with. But it is something that Ross and I are going to be discussing at some point as we sort of revamp top of the box a little bit. Just to give ourselves a little bit more interesting. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's always fun watching new things happen, Danny. Let's see. Yeah, I could go with that for the 8. How much money have I got? I have got enough money to go up to the next tier, to the tier 2. So I might do that. I might just buy an 11 that's unlikely to come up, but going to be worth a lot of money if it does.
Double 5s or a 10. Ooh, that's 10 will get me 7 money.
I will take the 10. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, so I now have 11 monies. So what should I have? Let's take that one.
We both seem to be building around this 9, 10, 11 area, which is interesting. It's working out for us, though. Another 10. Yep. Alright, let's see what I can try and get. Let's buy this 3. Might cost me a lot of money, but it is worth it, I think. Okay.
3 and a 3.
I'll have the 2 3s since I just bought myself a 3. Unsurprisingly, there's a different layer of thinking then between this and a gift of tulips. Now, this game, Space Base, is available on Sovranti for you to enjoy. It is currently not available in the silver library, the sort of rotating library, but you can go and use the code EatCrit and get yourself 60 days of a platinum subscription, which will allow you to play it whenever you want. If you want to just stick to the silver games, that's absolutely fine. They change each month, and there will be updates coming in the next couple of weeks as to what the next games will be for next month. There are new ones coming out all the time. But if you want to play the perfect pairs that are being set up this week, you've got the Cats and Kittens, you go Wizard Kittens and Isle of Cats, the Nature of Shobu and Gifts and Tulips, or the sneaky animals with Hedgehog, Hop, and Boop. What do I want out of those? I think I'll go for the 9. Let's go Yes.
That worked out well for me because that's activated a thing that has arrows, so I was able to activate that and the one next to it.
Oh, very nice. Let's just go with something that's going to benefit me on a 1. And then I've got something covering all my low numbers to start with.
Yeah, I'm trying that as well. Go wide and cover up a lot of the board.
Yeah. 2 3s. Well, I guess I'm going for 2 3s.
Yep, likewise.
That's just occurred to me. I've got this music playing in the background. I have no idea if this is going to give me a DMCA strike when I upload it onto YouTube or not.
What do you do?
I hope not.
Ooh, that's mean. Let's take it.
Mean? Oh dear. What card have you taken?
I've bought the UES Gordon, which is on a 7, and if I roll the 7 on my turn, all opponents lose 4 victory points.
Oof. That's cruel.
And then if I deploy it, it's all opponents lose 3 victory points.
Yes, and I've just rolled a 7.
Yeah.
I will take the 3 monies, I think. Let's have a look at what I have. Oof, that's a big boy. Okay. Let's go for this one. Sure, why not? Let's go for 4 points on my 8s, potentially. Nine.
5 and a 4. Or the 9. Oh, the 9 is definitely the right choice there.
Yeah, that's pretty decent for you. 6 money and the planet point.
Yeah. Don't want to spend any of this money. Sure. Oh, why not? Not likely to roll it, but if I do, it comes up. It will get me something.
Right, let's see what we get. Yeet. 7. Take my monies. You know what? Sure, let's go for an insane 12 is worth 11 money. Because why not?
10. Yes, please. I will take lots of money off
I will
that.
take the 10 as well. I'll take the 3 points and the 3 money. 2 points and 3 money. Aha! I have got 4 points.
There we go. Gradually building up my board.
Oops. A 5. Or a 1 and a 4. I get the same thing. I get slightly better if I do 1 4. Do I want to buy anything? No. I'm going to pass this turn. Hoping to get some good rolls in the next couple of turns that would get me quite a nice chunk of money that I could just go big card. Maybe, I don't know. We shall see.
3 and a 1.
3 and a 1 will do for me.
5, 4. 3 and 1 seems better.
Yes. At this exact moment, yes.
Sure, let's also take a punt on the unlikely rolling a double 6.
Unlikely, but if it pays off,
Yeah.
you go home happy.
Plus, it was only a 4-cost card, so you know, not a big deal.
No, a 7. Okay, I have enough money to go for one of the big boys. Let's see what we've got here.
Okay, what does that do? Oh yes, I see.
Ooh.
I click there.
This one. Let's go for this guy. So this seems like it could be potentially useful. Before rolling, set 1 die instead of rolling if I pay a charge. If I roll 4s to power it up. It's potentially pretty good. It does cost all my money.
Is that what that was all about? It was.
Aha.
Space. Okay, I don't know what I just did. I did a thing.
What have you done?
I had a cube on my card, and now the cube has gone.
Which card was it?
Number 1.
So these cards, some of these cards, when you get them, you get a cube placed onto them, and then you can pay that cube at any point to activate its ability. So in this instance, your ability is it activates the card to your right, or to its right, which is this one, which gives you 4 money, and it lets you buy a card, I think.
It's not going to be the option. It's now asking me if I'm ready for the next turn.
It might not let you buy a card because it's not your turn, I guess. Or maybe it hasn't. Yeah, might as well save it for another turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't let you activate the ability out of order.
Maybe.
I'm learning. 11.
11. Ooh, hello. Yes, please.
Yeah, I think I'll take 4 victory points.
I'll take my 8 money and my 1 planet point. That'd be nice. It must be nice. It must be nice. Oh no, of course, on your turns it's just 4 money. Damn.
And now I can use my...
Yes, so you normally only get 1 buy per turn, so now you'll have 2 buys that you could do if you want to.
Yes, shame I haven't got much money, but hey ho.
You can still save it for another time if you want. Build up your resources.
No, that's fine. Let's just stick with my go wide strategy.
Okay. Let's
Cover
see.
up all, put something on all the bits of the board, and then whatever happens, I get to do something.
It's a smart strategy. 2 and a 5. I'll take the 7. So a bit more money. And I'll look to buy something, maybe. Yes, I will take this 9, I think. That seems like a good idea.
Okay.
3 and a 4 is 7. I'll take the.
I think I'll take the 7.
I'll take the 3 and the 4. slightly better for me at the moment. My 7, I have flipped over my 6 or 7, which is not good. Perhaps one I need to focus on. This is a very smooth iteration of Space Base. I approve.
What can I buy and what would I actually like to buy? Ooh, hello. Oh no. So that one gets me 8 monies if I hit it, but it's an 11, so not likely to hit it.
It's doable though.
No, I'll take that's what.
Okay. Give me some 4s, or just 2 3s. I'll just take the 4 points for that, so I feel like I need to start progressing up the points tracks. Is there something for a 6 or a 7 I could put in? Those are not 6s or 7s. In which case,
Yeah, we seem to be relatively short on things with 6s or 7s on.
Yeah. They might just be hidden in the deck, to be fair. I keep up my money for the moment.
Another pair of 3s or 6. Let's take the 3s.
I'll take the 2 3s. So look at your board.
So that place that, not sure that's a good plan. Yeah, I don't want to place my 10. So that's probably a good plan.
Enjoying this music, it's very immersive.
I'm not getting the music. I've probably turned it off in a setting somewhere.
Possibly, you might have just muted Sovereignty, but I've got it playing nicely in my headphones, and it's playing out to the stream.
Ah, no, there we go. I've found it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Spacey.
Alright, let's see. Can I get anything? You're a 6, I just can't get you yet. So I shall wait. Just need slightly more money. And then you shall be mine. Up, 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 up. Alright. 1 and a 5. That gets me exactly how much more money I needed.
Neither of those are very good for me. I select those. Do I get the cubes of power?
You would get the cubes of
I
power.
do.
That is one thing that is nice on Sovereignty, is you can undo your turn, so you can sort of see what the chain reactions will be. As long as it doesn't reveal any new information, you can just sort of go, let's just see, oh, it does that, and then I can see how those things trigger. So your 5 card, I think, lets you pay that cube and you can activate a card 1 or 2 spaces to the right from it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
I'm liking the planet mechanic because it's sort of
It keeps things chugging along, doesn't
effectively
it?
reducing the cost of each thing I buy.
Yes, it is. Yes, your own civilization. Now, I finally have enough money that I could buy one of these 3 cards up here, but I would effectively be locking out my 1, 2, and 3 if I were to do that. But it is worth a lot of points. Instead, I'm going to buy this ship here, which goes into my 6, on the basis that buying this one lets me place a charge anywhere, which is pretty handy. Ready for next turn. Just watching all the cubes bouncing around. It's great. I'll take the 1 and the 2 then.
Yes, likewise.
Very nice, very simple, very elegant production, this one. I am a big fan.
Yeah, I have some money. Is this enough money to buy anything good? Maybe.
The eternal question. Certainly the phrase that we have on payday, isn't it? I have money. Is it enough to buy something good?
I mean, the answer to that is normally yes, until you consider how long it is till the next payday.
Yeah, there is that. This month is not so bad because of February being short. But January is always a weird one. It always feels significantly longer when it comes to money because you get paid earlier in December. Or at least I do.
Yeah, likewise.
Flipping Christmas. Ruins everything. A 9. Ooh, now. The 9 gives... This is where I have to make an interesting choice. I can either get this activation, which means I can set a die to a value that I want it to be, or I can get 6 money. I'm going to go with a 4 and 5. I'm going to go with a low money amount, but gain a charge, because I feel like that might be important, but I will buy this card in the meantime to make my 5 a little bit stronger.
Five and a 4, 9.
A 9. So I'll take the 5 and the 4 so I get more money that way. Yes.
Oh yes, I'll take the 9 because that is going to give me money and boost my planet.
Ooh. Very nice.
Okay. Let's skip that for now. Right, what should I buy now?
What can you buy?
I
You
can
have
get
a
something
lot
from
of
the
money.
Yeah, I can get something from the top row. Or I could buy one of the big point things.
Yes. So scores currently, you're on 7. I am on 13.
Yeah, it's still quite early days yet, though.
It is, yeah. We've got 40 points to make up.
Okay, let's take that one.
I don't think that helps. helped. I moved my microphone to be a bit further away from the fan noise, and I don't think it's made a difference. I'm going to put it back. Alright, if I have a set die ability, I will skip it this time. That turned out to be a wise option, because now...
Oh, yes, please.
Take this for 3. Yes. Okay. I'll take the 2-3, get myself another couple of points.
I'm just getting loads of money. I have 20 available to spend this turn.
Blimey. Yeah, fair enough. Well played. 20. I can buy you some big pointies.
Yeah, or more stuff to continue building up my fleet.
That is true. It's worth noting that these outposts, they are singular, so each player, there's only one of them available for each, well, for the game. So if Dom were to buy them, I would not have access to them, so that's a certain number of points swing that is not necessarily in my favour at this exact moment.
Okay, this seems quite a good one. The roll of a 2 getting me 20 coins seems like it could be quite handy.
What?
Yeah, look at what's in my number.
Oh, good lord! Wow! Wowie, wow, wow. That is impressive.
Of course, I will now never roll a 2 again. The entire
That
game.
could happen. Right, so I'm going to use my ability. I'm going to use it twice if I can. Set you to 6. Confirm. And then use the other one. So I'm going to guarantee a 12. By doing a 12... Oops.
You give me 5 coins.
You get 5 coins. I get 11. So let's see what big ship it I can buy. Ooh. Yes. You're coming home with me. Yes, please. So I have taken my number 11. I've taken this one in number 11. The PSS Nikolaev 5815B modified POHL class tug. Claim a level 3 and 1 level 1 card. So if I roll an 11, I get 3 cards. And then I get my buy phase. That's potentially quite useful. Watch as I never roll an 11. But I will take the 2 3s to get 2 coins and 2 points. So I am now at 17 points. This is a very nice light engine builder. I quite like it.
What should I pick? Let's... Yeah. Let's pick that one. I think I have a plan of sorts.
I hope you don't.
I don't think it's a very complicated plan.
Is it just get more stuff? 6 or a 5 and a 1? I will take the 6.
Yeah, I will take the 6. Oh, there we go. I've rolled my 2.
Oh,
And I'm about to have loads of money.
lovely. I will take the 2 and the 5. I will get some money. But you will get all the money.
Hang on, why isn't it giving me all the money? Oh,
Oh, you have to pay the cost.
I thought I have to pay the cubes, don't you?
Yes.
Ah, that makes sense. Otherwise, it would probably be a bit powerful.
Mm.
Okay.
I wonder whether you have to pay multiple cubes, though, for it.
We shall find out.
We shall. I wonder if there's a
Uh,
specific clarification on that card.
I don't want to change that. Could change that one.
Oh, I see. A square with pips in it needs to be filled if and only if the number of players... Oh, sorry. Square with pips in it needs to be filled if and only if the number of players is equal to the number of pips shown. So in a 2-player game, all 4 pips would need to be filled in before you can activate it. Which makes sense. That's quite a lot of money.
Hello, you're going to be useful. Yes, you will do. Oh, there we go. My new aim is to activate that at least once before the end of the game.
You do get mini games like that do seem to happen, I find. I have got a 4, so I'm going to take that charge, I think. And I will take this. That is a 2 card. I will take this 2 card. So at the very least, you're hoping to have 2. So if I can at least profit from it somehow, it would be nice. Are you triggering an ability?
No.
Okay.
Because it's a blue ability, so I don't think it works.
It might do.
Let's see.
Could always undo it, I suppose, unless it's modifying something.
Okay, yeah, let's find out if it works, and if so, how it works. Okay, yeah, I can buy a card.
And you got 3 money,
Okay.
which is nice.
Yes.
So it gives you an extra buy this turn,
Yeah.
which I suppose you have to use now.
I do.
You can always undo it and see what you roll first, and then buy something.
No, that's fine. I'm happy enough with that.
Okay. So upping your 10 game. And you roll 10.
Which doesn't actually help because that's the stuff. It's the stuff in red, isn't it?
No, because you rolled the dice, so it's the stuff in blue.
Yeah. So all that stuff I've got in red doesn't really help me.
Oh, I see. No, not yet.
Okay.
But you would still get 9 points for your... 9 points,
money,
rather.
Yeah.
I will go for the 4-6, I think. Yeah, I'll go for that.
does that work? Let's find out. Nope, that did nothing.
Okay. What's he trying to do?
Oh, nothing much. I was just saying about how the activation sequencing worked.
Gotcha.
Not sure I've got my head around that yet, but I'll get there. How much money have I got? That's much money.
You have 10 monies.
Yep. Okay. Sure, why not?
I would like to use my... Wait, why didn't I get that? Oh, because I... right. Yep, okay, I oofed.
Oh, I'm glad Sovereignty is here to help us get this right.
Yes. I will not use a card ability. Alright, let's see what I get. Ooh. Two and 6, or I can get 4 points. I will take the 2 and a 6. I want to have that ability. Yes. Sure, I will activate it and do that. So I have that ready for the next turn. Lovely.
Ready for next turn.
Let's take this 7. So the card I just took for the 7 lets me swap my 4 and 9 sector cards, which could potentially be very good.
Where's my scores for me?
8.
6 and a 2.
I'll take my 8 this time. Get myself a lot of money.
Is that going to work the way I want it to? Let's find out. It is. Hey. Which shall I take? Oh, you've been quite useful so far. Do I really want to risk you? No. Let's take you instead.
Alright. I would like to set my dice. So I'm going to set one of these to a 5. And the other one to an 11, to a 6. Confirm. So I now have 11, which gives me the option to get a 1 and a 3. So let's have a look at what we've got in the various spots. That's a 4. Swaps my 1 and 12 sector cards. That's potentially pretty good. Let's take this one for the 1. I can claim a level 1 card. That's a 6, 4, 3, 2, 7. Let's take this 7. And then I can buy something. I'm going to buy the first colony card. I'm going to buy the number 1 colony.
Ooh.
So I am now at 20 points. I'm halfway there. And living on a prayer.
Right, is that going to work the way I want it to? Yes, getting closer.
Let's take the 8. Yeah.
Well, as you're claiming free stuff, I may as well get a card that lets me claim some free stuff as well.
Why not?
Oh yes, you look pretty good.
6 and a 3. Yes.
4 and a 3.
One, two, three, 4, and a point.
Okay, I think that works. Like, hang on. Why has that not done that?
What's gone wrong?
I thought by rolling a 7 and picking the 7, it puts a cube on my 7 card, but
I think. Have you confirmed it?
it's now moved on to abilities, so I guess so.
I guess maybe it only shows confirmed moves. I don't know. It might be you can't activate it in the turn that you get it.
Maybe. Let's see, anyway.
Let's see what happens. I'm sure the cube will appear on there at some point. If anyone in chat knows, answers on the back of a postcard.
Yeah, it's probably me just not understanding quite how the game works.
Danny says, "What's up?" Dom has rolled a 7 and has chosen to take it for his ship here, and has not yet received a cube on it. I don't know if that's just because you haven't accepted it yet, or it doesn't appear till the end of the turn, and it's just an order of operations thing. I suspect it's probably that more than anything else.
I suspect it's me not understanding the rules quite right.
Maybe. That seems more likely than anything else. It should appear at the end of the turn, Danny says.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
I guess that makes sense, because then you can't activate it straight away. You have to wait till the next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. Ah. Danny says, as long as you chose 7 and didn't use another charge cube to turn your 7 into an 8. Your 8 is currently highlighted, so it looks like it's about to activate your 8 card.
Interesting.
Did you activate your 1 over
Yeah.
your 1? Oh, is that what those green cards do? Do those increase the die value by 1? Rather than trigger the card? No, use the sector, you gain the rewards and check to your 1 space up to the right.
It's fine. I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
I shall figure it out
Later.
later. Or probably not at all.
It looks like it's increased the value of your die for some reason. Because it's got a blue circle around your 8. One to the right of the total of the die. Right. So these green cards then, I'll click on it for audience purposes. When those are activated, it's based on the current die roll, not the position of that card where it is. Okay, that makes sense. So if you want to undo that, Dom, so that you get your 7 benefit rather than the 8.
That makes more sense, yes.
Danny says, yep, you've got it. There we go. We got there in the end.
Hey.
This is what happens when I vaguely remember the rules and don't look them up beforehand. It's fine. It's been that sort of stream. It's been relaxed. We've enjoyed ourselves with flowers. And then we've had a realisation of how a game works. There you go. You've got your cube on the thing now.
Yes, which I could apparently use straight away.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm disappointed in you making me lose points. Wah wah.
That's kind of why I took it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Got a nice big red -4 floating over mine, which is somewhat depressing.
Okay. What shall I buy? You are potentially useful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You should get into the greetings card business. Happy birthday. You are potentially useful.
Yeah, let's just keep buying stuff.
More stuff, more things, more potential. I feel fairly comfortable with my engine as it is at the moment. I have some potential. I have a lot of money income. I need some more points, I think.
Sure, why not?
Lose victory points. Okay, an 8. Or a 5 and a 3. Can I activate? Why a second I do that if I do the sum dice? Okay. Let's go with the 8. And then I'll use that to make it a 9. gets me more money. Ooh. Sure, you know what? I'm going to go for the fun option. The card on the far right of the third row. If I get 5 12s, I win. It could happen.
It could.
I've got an engine to potentially do it.
Oh, you do have a dice setting thing.
I have a dice setter thing, yeah. So I've got the option for it.
Oh, okay. I better
Get a shifty on.
watch out for that. So, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's a highly unlikely card to do, but if I manage to pull it off, it's
It'll
like
be
you
kind of
get.
awesome.
It's like you getting your 20 space bucks. My whole life has been built into this moment.
May not have been the right play. You know what? Why not?
Let's see what you got. Show me what you've got.
I'm claiming free stuff, essentially.
Yeah, nice. Free stuff is always beneficial. What free stuff are you claiming? 1 level 2 card and 1 level 1 card. Nice.
Yep. I can buy some stuff the normal way as well. Look at look.
Let's see how we do. Take a
Some
chance.
nice high rolls would be good.
Well, you've got a 3 and a 2. Those are high numbers, right? Let's see. Let's charge up those. I'm not going to get a lot out of it, but I can at least... Let's do this. Let's buy that one. Little sparkle ship.
Three and a 5 or an 8.
Let's go with the 8 for me. Ooh, I could spend it. Use the 9. No, I won't. That seems stupid. Yep, ready?
Yeah.
Space Base.
Okay, that seems like a good plan. Or not. No, I'm still getting my head around the cubes and the dice changing thing.
That's fair. That's fair. So we've got an 8 at the moment. So you spent the cube. You could either spend
I
the
could
cube.
go up to a 9.
Go up to a 9 and claim the level 2 and a level 1 again.
Yeah. I could just straight up get some money into Planet.
You could, yes.
Yeah, I think just money in a particular planet is a good plan.
Okay. Ooh.
Let's claim a 3 or a 4. Let's claim a 4.
4 it is. Well, here's some high numbers. 1 and a 5. I'll take the 6. I could do that. I will not. I'll skip that. Let's charge this up. I'll spend both of those. And I put a charge on my 12. So not only have I got my die manipulation thing, I've also got I can put a charge on one of my cards. Ooh. This could be dangerous. I have
Dangerous
power.
for me.
I have power. Let's do that, I think. Sure, why not? That seems like a smart and reasonable thing to do.
Ooh, 11. That would have
11.
been good if that had been during your turn. I'd have got a lot more for it.
Well, an 11 during your turn is pretty nice for me. Ooh!
Yeah, hang on.
Actually, even better than that. Oh, no, wait, no. No, that's not better. Let's not do that.
So I could gain a bunch of victory points.
Let's do that and claim 2. Let's claim some
No.
stuff.
Probably this does not work that way. But let's find out.
Go to planet and those. Is that 8 and... Oh, actually, no, let's do the thing. Let's do that. And then I'll up it to a 12. That gets me more money.
Yes, it does not work like that.
What were you trying to do?
I'm not surprised.
Oh, I see. Were you trying to chain so that you bounce back and forth between the two?
Yes, I was sure that it wouldn't work.
Yes, you can only go in one. You can only do it once, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to find a way to secure this cushion that I've stolen to use on this chair for a bit more padding to the chair, because it keeps falling off when I move slightly. Now it's cold, or I've sat on the cold side.
No, don't do that. Do the thing.
You talking to yourself or your cards?
Sorry?
You talking to yourself or your cards?
Talking to myself. I had a plan and then I sort of half forgot the plan and I remembered it again. So I tell myself to do the plan. Okay, and... Sure, why not? Okay. Getting there.
Yes.
Ooh, that's an interesting list card in the middle, though.
Which one's that? Sorry. Oh. ×2 question mark. Interesting. Let's take the 2 and the 6. Oh, it's an 8, so I can buy it. I'm going to take it, see what happens. I guess I can activate. It either activates 2 random ones, or it will activate 2 of my choosing. I don't know. Let's see if I can find it in the iconography. Whilst you take your turn. ×2, station active. This ability can only be used during phase 4, gaining rewards on your own turn before gaining rewards for the roll. When you activate this ability and resolve its effect, gain whatever blue reward you'll get this turn in one sector ×2. This ability cannot be used to charge itself. Okay. Let's get 7. I will use that to make it an 8. Yay.
Okay. You're not particularly useful, so let's get some big points by buying a settlement thing.
Ooh, okay. Which settlement are you buying?
The one that goes on number 6, which scores me 8 victory points.
Ooh.
Taking me up to 26. So you're going for a non-victory point based way of winning.
I mean,
so,
I feel like I have to at this point because it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in agreement.
Okay, let's do that. I gain the ability to the right.
Your turn, not my turn. Still better, I think.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Got my ×2 power trigger ready to go. So if I roll a 12, then the space doo-doo is going to hit the space fan.
Rolling dice. What am I rolling? A 3 and a 1. Not the most useful thing.
Stellar rolls there, sir. I still bump up on the victory point track. I think both of us have now gotten to the point where we're trying to win by shenanigan. It's not necessarily the most effective way of winning. Or at least we're trying to pull off some sort of shenanigans.
I am just trying to buy stuff.
Yes.
I'm not sure that counts as a shenanigan.
Well, certainly not helpful.
Yeah, let's keep buying stuff.
push on 35. Which is probably not going to help me. I don't think I will win by shenanigan, as much as I would like to. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Ooh, yes. So I can do that. Skip.
I'm within 1 point.
Ah! I have my set. I've got my set dice thing combo with the ×2 in a good position. It's just not going to pay off, I don't think.
Yeah, well, I'm going to fail to achieve my ambition. I'm not going to get to activate my 20 money card.
Oh, you never know. It might happen this turn. You might roll a 2.
I think that would just put the last tip on it.
Yeah, but then you could use it. 1, 5, or a 6. Let's do the 1, 5.
1 in 5 gets me there.
Ah, it would.
I'm not sure why it's telling me I can still buy stuff, but whatever.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yay! Well, as much as it would have been fun to pull off the shenanigans win, congratulations, Tom. You have won Space Base. 41 points to 24. And
yeah, that doesn't really show the true nature of the game, does it?
It doesn't, no. But there we go. That's how the game plays out. Sometimes you can try to go for certain things, it doesn't quite work in your favour.
Yeah, that was fun. I would like to try that again now I understand it a bit.
Yes, and I feel like it does play better with more people, I think, because then you're getting more passive benefits. You're not constantly trying to do something turn to turn. So it's definitely something to give a go sometime in the future. But that is everything we are going to be wrapping up for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here and supporting us. Thank you to GameTea and to Sovranti for being supported partners for us. And it looks like our old friends, Loserpalooza, are playing... What are they playing? They're playing something. Patchwork Doodle. Other things. The roll and write. Have a great night yourself, Sovereignty/Danny. We will send you over to Loserpalooza if the typing works. There we go. We'll send you off on a raid, let them know we say hi, and take care of yourselves. We will see you again on Friday when we are going to be playing some D&D, hopefully. Until next time we see you, thank you very much for being here. Take care of yourselves and have a lovely...
I must go. My people need me.
God damn it. Farewell, everyone. Good night.